Time to level up again. You guys enjoyed the last tips video so much that we're doing it again. Last time we focused on movement tips, giving you some tricks to mix up your opponent or to close the gap between you. And this time we're gonna focus on defense. Oh no, come on guys, no, I'll make it fun, I promise. I know defense is boring, but we'll make a whole minigame out of it. 5 different levels for you to set up in practice mode so you can see how long you can go without getting opened up. And the first tip is exactly the same as last videos. Get something from today's sponsor, Kaioken Clothing. It will immediately improve your defense by 0.5%. The online store where you can get t-shirts, hoodies, or masks inspired by your favorite anime shows. I was browsing the store this weekend and they have added a lot of new stuff recently. There's Haikyuu merch, there's Tokyo Ghoul, there's Bleach. Even the Dragon Ball collection got a few new items like the Pride Trooper. You got a t-shirt and a hoodie version. I highly recommend checking out their remix section. It includes their own alternate takes on character designs, changing them slightly, making them look a bit more unique. And in fact, all the designs that you find in the store are made by Kaioken Clothing themselves and are exclusive to the store. You won't find them anywhere else. When you're ready to buy something, use promo code Globku at checkout. You'll get 10% off with free shipping on top of that. Thank you Kaioken Clothing for sponsoring this video. Alright, the first step is pick your team on the player 1 side, and after that on the player 2 side, we're gonna use Goku Blue. The assists don't really matter for this tutorial, but if in the future you want to do assist block strings, be my guest. Today's options are going to be mostly universal. Any character in the roster can do them. So if you have trouble blocking against a specific character, feel free to choose them instead and use this same method. But given Goku Blue's amount of options, that's who we're running today as our sparring partner. Now that you're in practice mode, familiarize yourself with this menu, the training dummy recording settings. Here you can set your dummy to act in 8 different ways. So we're going to start slow and then start adding a few options as we go. Let's start simple. This is the level 1 you need to beat. Level 1 difficulty. On the first slot, record this block string. Starts with a jumping heavy attack, go straight into a low, and after the standing punch, don't auto combo, go straight into down medium. If you can delay the down medium a little bit, leaving a small gap to catch mashing, even better. If you can't, that's okay, just turn on your inputs, make sure you're looking at them, just to guarantee you're not mashing anything on block. Finish the string, and let's record the second slot. For slot 2, you're gonna start with an instant air dash, and instead of a heavy attack, you're gonna do a double overhead. That's a jumping medium and a jumping light attack. And that's it. Level 1 of our defense training is fully set up. Set the training dummy to play a random recording, set it to play automatically, reset to the center, and try blocking these 2 options consistently. You are now practicing your ability to react to different types of overhead attacks. The timing to crouch after an attack is slightly different on both of these options, and if you crouch too soon, the second overhead attack is gonna hit you. That said, the difference in timing to block both of these options isn't that big of a deal, so I expect all of you to be able to block this perfectly. After you block 10 attempts in a row, it's time to move on to level 2. Level 2 is gonna add some dragon rushes. So on slot 3, you're gonna record a jump in heavy attack and throw a dragon rush as soon as you land. And then on slot 4, jump in heavy attack, low light, standing light, and dragon rush. So it comes out as a tick throw. Since recording 1, 3, and 4 all start the same way, you won't know what option is coming until it happens, while at the same time you're keeping an eye out for that double overhead attack. But keep in mind that in a real match, the opponent can also jump with that double overhead and then go into a dragon rush, or any of the other options we're going to talk about. Players don't usually just stand in front of you after using a double overhead. Also, if you're mashing to tech the dragon rush, you'll get caught by our first recording on the down medium. That is, if you were able to delay the down medium in the first recording. But again, to help you visually, I recommend turning on your inputs so you can see what buttons you're pressing, which ideally would be none until you have to take a dragon rush. And don't feel bad if level 2 is already incredibly hard. I still get opened up by dragon rushes, especially on PlayStation, but this is why we practice. Regarding how you tech a dragon rush, I would recommend getting used to teching with the actual dragon rush button. Technically, you could tech a dragon rush with any button you press. You could mash the light attack button and you would tech a dragon rush. But there's a bigger tech window if you actually press the dragon rush button on your own controller. That's not always the best option, but for now, for level 2, I would get used to that. Now that level 2 is fully set up, try to block 10 times in a row. If you're able to do that, congratulations, you have moved on to level 3. There's a small pause between Goku's attacks and the Dragon Rush, which is something you've been practicing to look out for in level 2. But just because there's a pause doesn't mean a Dragon Rush is coming, so we're gonna add the universal overhead to the mix. And if you're mashing to tech the Dragon Rush, you're gonna get hit. This will also train your reaction to the 6M animation, and eventually you might even be able to reflect it on reaction. But before that happens, start training to get out of there as soon as you block the 6M. After you block a 6M, neither player has the advantage. So if you both press the light attack button, your attacks will clash. So to record this new slot, which would be slot 5, jump in with a heavy attack and straight into 6M. After that, just smash the hell out of the auto combo. So if after blocking the universal overhead you want to try the clash, you will win over the auto combo if you hold back while pressing the light attack button. When clashing, every character gets a second jab if you're holding back while pressing the light attack button. Even if they can't do it in a normal block string, they will gain it during a clash scenario. And this second jab is much faster than any second hit of an auto combo. There are many layers to clashes, but if you have this reaction, you're already well above the average player. Alternatively, you can also backdash or jump away. Just make sure you get out of there after blocking a 6M. It does not count as successfully blocked unless you use one of these options, okay? So when I tell you to block 10 times in a row, you can't just block 6M and then just sit there. You gotta get out. In a match, if the opponent has an assist, you're gonna have to sit there. You're gonna have to take it. But not getting out of pressure after blocking a 6M on an opponent that doesn't have assists is kind of a waste. So practice clashes, practice backdashing, practice jumping away. And I predict that level 3 will be the first big barrier for most of you watching this video. We now have 5 different recordings, and we have a 3-way mix as soon as Goku lands. He can Dragon Rush, overhead, or low punch. And that's followed by a 2-way mix after the light attack, but that's just good reaction practice. Block level 3 10 times in a row, and it's time to move on to level 4. Cross-ups, baby! You may have wondered why we're doing this mid-screen. Most people would do defensive tutorials in the corner. Well, here's the reason why. Level 4 is a cross-up. So let's jump in heavy and instant air dash forward into a medium attack, and then confirm into a low medium to make sure you're blocking low after blocking the cross-up. Now, this option can be countered with a down heavy, and if you're comfortable enough doing it, by all means, go for it. Down heavy will also tech the Dragon Rush, but it will lose to all the other options, so make sure you really are doing it on reaction. It's not easy, especially since the 6M looks like he's about to instant air dash over you, so it's a risky option. Also, Goku Blue can just throw a Ki Blast instead of a cross-up medium, and that will smoke your down heavy. So against characters that can throw these Ki Blasts while falling down, just don't down heavy. It's a mistake. Level 4 is where I'm currently stuck on, personally. I beat it once, but I think I was lucky with what I got, so I gotta go back to it. And the funny thing is that I'm actually blocking the cross-up pretty consistently, but since that became an option, I'm getting opened up a lot more by Dragon Rushes and 6M. But if you're able to reliably block level 4, block it 10 times in a row, let's fill up those final recording slots. Here is level 5. For this one, both recordings are gonna start the same as usual. Jump in heavy. From there, low light, standing light, and then EX shoulder for the side switch. You can make that our recording, slot 7. And then for slot 8, make it the medium command grab. We could go for Goku's fastest command grab, which is the light version, but we'd have to delay it, and we're practicing reactions. The light version of the command grab is not reactable. That's maybe another topic we can talk about later. You have to read, you have to kind of guess it's coming. So for this slot number 8, medium version of the command grab. To avoid this command grab though, you should just jump. To avoid the EX shoulder, you just need to block the opposite way. But given the amount of options that can happen at this point, it can be a real challenge. So here at level 5, I started using something called an option select, which is when you react the same way to cover 2 or more options. In this case, I use a super dash to cover both the Dragon Rush and the command grab, but beware because you can't do this for every command grab. For instance, Goku Blue himself, after he lands, he can do the light version of his command grab, and that has a follow-up punch if he misses, and that punch can catch your super dash. Z Broly has armored command grabs, so that can also smoke your super dash. But in this case, in the middle of the block string where his options are tick throw or command grab, super dash works like a charm. That said, if you mash the super dash, you can get caught by the 2M, and if you react to the wrong move, you may get hit by the EX shoulder. So your reactions still need to be on point. I'm not gonna tell you to beat level 5 10 times because this is the final level. This is where you set your high score. This is the challenge that you just go for as long as you can hold out. My personal best is currently, I shouldn't say it. It's 7 mix-ups. That's the best I can make. Let me know in the comments how many you can get. Creating this personal challenge, trying to beat your personal best attempt, is a way of making this practice session an actual fun minigame. And more than anything, I hope this video has helped you get comfortable with the recording tool in practice mode. And Arxis, if you're watching, it would be so awesome if I could just take these recorded slots and upload them so people could download them in game. And I'm not saying just me, just everyone, the community could create these training packs, not only for defense, but combo challenges and stuff like that. Similar to what Rocket League does, and I've heard Them's Fighting Herds also has something similar. That said, this will help you train reactions, but it will not make you an absolute god on defense. There are a lot of other options players can go for, and a lot of other characters to practice against. For instance, at the start of the recording alone, instead of a jumping medium light or a jumping heavy, Goku Blue could do a jumping medium heavy, which would whiff the heavy attack and hit you with a low, or a command throw, or Dragon Rush. He can also do an empty jump by whiffing a light attack and going straight into a low. So if instead of these moves that we talked about today, you want to practice against a different setup, then by all means. Figure out what's opening your defense up, record it, and throw it in the middle of all of this. If it's a weird character that you're not used to, that's perfect. That means you'll have to practice that character for a little bit, at least to record the mix-up, and that will help you understand that character and how to block against them even more effectively. Just make sure you're not actually trying to react to something that's not reactable. For instance, Base Goku can tick throw you without delaying anything. Blue Goku's light command throw is also unreactable. And with a good assist, many characters have 50-50 mix-ups. A 50-50 means that two options can hit on the same frame. It's something you cannot react to, you have to read. So when you're faced against a 50-50, just choose your stance. In your mind, decide to block high or low. And if you get caught, that's fine. You guessed wrong, you'll try again next time. But at least you won't beat yourself up for not reacting. In fact, trying to react to something that's unreactable can often actually hurt you, as the Kill Sage explains while analyzing his set against Goichi during the World Tour Finals.
When people are fighting, there are so many things in this game that you can react to that people will try to react to unreactable things. They just can't help it. So this probably would have whiffed if he didn't stand up, but because he stood up to try to block it, he just gets hit before he can block.
But yeah, folks, try it out. Let me know how it goes. Which level did you first get stuck on, and how many times did you block in level 5? Don't forget that if you get something from Kaioken Clothing, your reaction times will actually improve. Code Globku for a 10% discount. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye!